So you just unlocked Shiva and you're wondering how to use it. In this video, we'll be going over all the iconic abilities, how to best utilize them, and fun combos you can do. So with that out the way, let's get into this, yeah? The main reason you should use Shiva is for her iconic feat, Cold Snap. This lets you slide in any direction and covers more distance than your normal evade. If you press the iconic feat, then you'll place an ice shard that'll freeze any enemy next to it. Here's something the game doesn't tell you. Did you know Cold Snap also freezes the stagger bar, so you could get out a lot more damage than you normally would have? Now if you precise dodge an enemy's attack, you'll freeze a wide area. This is absolutely amazing in any scenario, as it'll allow you to do free damage without the risk of ever getting hit. Keep in mind the freeze is based off your hitbox, so enemies far away won't get frozen. Shiva has been making my Final Fantasy mode playthrough a lot easier, and I highly recommend using her just for her feat alone. Now onto iconic abilities. Ice Age has a precise window like Titan's abilities. That means the upgrade will only increase the red window, which you should be aiming for. If you land in the red zone, you will not only knock back your enemy, but you will also freeze them. If you don't get the window, then I'll just knock back the enemy. This is a good skill to keep the enemies away from you and to set up other iconic abilities. Moving on to Mesmerize. It fires out 3 shards in front of you and it pulls enemies towards you. Once you upgrade it, it'll fire out 3 additional shards behind you. What the game doesn't tell you is if you get close enough, you can get multiple shards to hit a single enemy. So if they're big enough, you can actually lodge all 6 shards in one enemy, which is a massive DPS gain. It can also be used in mid-air. I highly recommend using this skill for the utility. Now for an interesting ability, Rhyme. It'll place this crystal in front of you and do continuous damage that'll keep lighter enemies trapped inside. It could be used in mid-air and you can move it by using the same input whenever you like. The upgrade extends the duration. It's a very niche ability and I wouldn't recommend using it. Now lastly, we'll go over Diamond Dust. This ability will pause time and do a significant amount of will damage. Once you upgrade it, it will hit a second time for half the will damage of the first hit. Combined, this is the strongest instantaneous will damage you can have on demand. If the enemy's 50%, you could break them right away. If an enemy is staggered, then you could bring up the multiplier to 150% just by Diamond Dust itself, which will allow your other abilities to do maximum damage. As you can see, this ability is very useful and I highly recommend you add it to your arsenal. Now that we cover all our iconic abilities, let's go over some fun combos you could do with your new toy. A 1-2 combo I like using for trash battles is Rhyme into Lightning Rod. I first use Rhyme to suck up the small enemies, then walk up and place the lightning rod to automatically activate, which acts like a bug zapper, and you could just sit there and watch them slowly die, or add your own attacks to speed up the process. If you're fighting against small and medium enemies, then I like to use Mesmerize, Ignition, Wicked Wheel, and Upheaval. Mesmerize will draw in the small enemies and you could scoop them up with the medium enemies with Ignition. Once you come to a halt, go to the center and pick them all up and then drop them down with Upheaval. A slight variation from this is Ice Age into Wicked Wheel and Upheaval. Knock the enemies up in the air, Phoenix Shift over to them, Wicked Wheel, and then come crashing down with an Upheaval. There's a ton of combo potential, so hopefully this helped you start out, and if you come up with a fun combo including Shiva's iconic abilities, then please share down below to help out the community. Hopefully this video helped you understand how to use Shiva efficiently, and if you enjoyed this video, consider checking out the last video, which covers a secret mechanic that'll increase your damage by 20%, and perhaps subscribing to see more, as I plan on making a ton of videos for Final Fantasy XVI, and I play a wide array of RPG games, and I break them down, just like this. Until the next video, I'll see ya.